Here from GraffitiEyes, and I got more superhero cheek art for you. I got Iron Man today. I like painting Iron Man full face. I think it's really cool. I actually don't use my stencils when I paint a full face Iron Man. Um, there's some people out there who are gonna really paint an Iron Man face, and I'm really impressed with it. Mine is pretty basic. I just do all the basic elements. And I've never done an Iron Man cheek art thing, so I'm one of those guilty parties of like, I don't know how to do an Iron Man cheek art. I don't know why. I just kind of like never, I don't know if I've never been asked for it or what. And how many times have you painted like the little power circles on their palms? Even though it doesn't last, but they love it for the minute, and it's just white paint, so whatever, right? It's not like it's like black paint on their hands or something like that. Anyways, I came up with something using my emoji mashup kit and my O Canada stencils. So I'm going to show you that and throw in a little bonus Ultimate GraffitiEyes stencils because like everybody in the world seems to own that thing, that stencil kit. Anyways, Iron Man. I was so excited because I was trying to come up with all these different superheroes for you guys. And I was struggling with the Iron Man. And then once I figured it out, I was like, genius. So, and I think I figured out a good way to teach you guys too, so you'll remember how to do it. Again, it's just practicing it. Practice on paper, practice at home, paint them out a whole bunch of times. And then you'll just remember it in your noodle. And if you have it on a menu like that, kids will ask for it. It's true. So let's get started right away. I'm gonna paint on paper, like always. I love painting on paper for practicing with my stencils. So Iron Man flies, right? So I'm gonna paint the background like the sky. So he's soaring through the sky. And then see how I just do like these fast strokes like this? When I'm painting it, like if I'm gonna paint it on a kid, I would do the same thing. So it just kind of gives it like a little bit of a watercolor kind of background. And I wouldn't like solid block out the whole thing. And I'm not going to bother putting like, sometimes I break it up with stencils and stuff like that. I'm just going to leave it like that. It makes it look like it's like the sky is moving fast too. We want to like create a lot of movement with this because Iron Man moves like, that guy moves. Okay, so let's just get started right in with the Iron Man face. I'm going to use my emoji kit and I'm going to start with the circle. Okay. So let's get, he's gold and he's like a dark red color. If I'm painting an Iron Man and Spider-Man, like the full face things, I'm going to show you guys my paint here. Okay. Maybe the colors show up. I don't know. You can see I have 3 different reds. There's a chunk of glitter in that one, but I have 3 different reds. This is the one I use for Spider-Man. It's really super red, like kind of more orangey red. This is regular orange. That's neon orange. This light is maybe not the greatest for seeing color tones. But what I do is this is my Spider-Man red and this is my Iron Man red. Okay. So, don't ask me what the color is called though. I don't know what it's called. Sorry. Anyways, get some red loaded up and get some of the gold loaded up. Mustard color works really well too. I find that like a mustard color, whatever the mustard color is called. I'm not selling paint. Sorry guys. I don't know what all the colors are called. But the mustard color works better than gold, I find, just because on certain skin tones, gold doesn't show up that great. So I like to use just the mustard color. I can't figure out what this thing is. I'm trying to clean my set here and I can't figure it out. What is it? Wires? What is that? I can't tell. Anyways, not worried about it. I'm wasting time. Okay, so my colors, I got this mustardy color and the red color. So we're just going to block out his whole face with the mustard color. Okay. Like I said, the gold, some skin tones you put gold on and it doesn't even show up. So that's why I like to use the mustard color more. Okay, check this out. This is genius. I'm loving it. For the elements of his head, we're going to use a bunch of the different smiles, okay? So I'm going to run through it as I'm doing it, and then I'm going to show you guys at the end. You'll see because there'll be paint all over them, so I'll remind you guys too. And I kind of figured out like little ways to remind you guys which smiles to use. This whole helmet's going to be made out of smiles. So first we're going to start with this one because this guy's like jaw is dropping, and y'all's jaws are going to drop when you realize how easy this is. So you're going to remember that? Start with that one, the jaw drop. That's his little bit on the center part of his forehead, okay? So see how there's a little bit of blue showing through there? I'm going to leave that little bit of blue showing through there, and I'm going to grab the whole thing, okay? Done. Next, I'm going to go with the heart eyes because we love Iron Man, okay? So we're not taking the eyes, we're taking the smile. Remember, this is all smiles, but we love Iron Man. Do you know why I love Iron Man the most? Because he upgraded Spider-Man's suit for free. It's true. He gave him an awesome suit for free. So this, we're going to line it up like so that it's on the side. He actually has, like, if you go look at some Iron Man art, it looks like he's got like little earmuffs on the side. You don't want to have them all the way out like this because he's not like total earmuffs. It's not like he's wearing headphones. They just stick out a little bit. But he's also got these like sideburns, like the red part of his helmet, kind of like sideburns. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up. So the tip is kind of halfway on, the tip of this top tip of the smile is halfway on the yellow part and halfway on the blue part. And then see how it's going more onto the yellow. So it's making a sideburn, but it's still outside on the blue. So he gets that little bit of an earmuff shape. Okay. Does that make sense? Good. It'll make sense when you start practicing it. So there's one. See that? And then just instead of worrying about washing your stencil and flipping it over, we're just gonna like rotate it like this. And then pretty much you're gonna line it up. You're gonna just be able to see through the stencil and we'll eyeball it, line it up, rotate it a little bit. So it is starting on the tip, half and half, and then rotating inwards to be his sideburn, okay? Done. Okay. My fingers are a little bit dirtier than I wanted here somehow. Okay, clean that off. Next, we're going to put this super sharp skinny bit. We're going to connect here because he's got these two yellow bits that go up like he's got a high hairline kind of, okay, like this is like a Wicked Widow's peak. But we just want to have something sharply connect the side earmuff parts to the top of it. And this is the skinniest smile, and it's the sneaky guy, okay? I thought Iron Man's kind of a sneaky guy. He's definitely. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're using the part of the smile, the top lip part of the smile to block off the yellow part of the helmet. And then we're just using this to connect the two. Does that make sense? It'll make sense as soon as I pull this away. Do you see how that happened? It just happened. Okay, so don't worry if there's a little bit of a divot like that there, or if the divot happens on the top, because those are so minor that you can correct them with your black outline. So again, just rotate it and we're gonna connect the two like so. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna use this smile. We're gonna use this smile for his chin piece, okay? He's got like this red chin, and this smile here is actually like this one, and the winky face are actually the only ones that fit inside of this poo and the fire emojis, right? All the other faces are too big. Only these two guys fit in there. So little poo eating grin, I would say that that would be Iron Man. He's kind of like that, right? Whatever. So again, it's going to be upside down for his chin piece because his chin piece is going to be rounded. And then there's going to be a little bit, let it go over the blue just a little bit. So it'll actually like square out his jawline a little. Okay. when I'm doing these things, I'm really squeezing my sponge really tiny so that I'm not picking up the eyes. You see that? It's looking pretty good. So far, so good. So here we go. We love him. That's the first, that's the earmuffs, or his jaw-dropping widow's peak hairline, right? And then we love him. That's the earmuffs. And then this little sneaky guy is going to connect the earmuffs to the hairline, and then the little poo-eating grin is his little chin. Okay, so that's the right there. Screen capture that. Moving on. Okay, moving on. We're gonna do his eyes, and the same eyes that the same shape that I used for the eyes for Deadpool. It's this little mouth. It's just a little smile. It's like this guy and this guy are kind of open mouth smiles, like they're talking kind of. This one right here works really great as eyes. Like this way they kind of look like they're wincing, you know, like that kind of eye. But we're going to use them actually going upwards like this. They're going to be on a bit of an angle. So they're straight and then going upwards. So let me load up some white here. And actually his eyes are kind of like a little bit blue or whatever, like they're a white blue, the same thing with the beam, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to use white. So when you do this, you're going to rotate the smile so that it's pointing upwards and it's going up along into that widow's peak area. You can see that, right? So grab that one. And then because we want them to be like totally symmetrical this time, like rotating it ain't gonna work, right? So what I do, like to make it really quick, is I just go like this with my finger and it's clean and it's not that big of a deal because you're a face painter and you get messy. Then you can flip it over and then you're not getting that white transfer. So then you're gonna rotate it so that it's flat along the bottom and pointing upwards again and catch that eye. Those are his eyes. Awesome. Okay. So now, like I was saying, next, ignore everything I just said, but pay attention to absolutely everything I say. Okay. Red. We'll connect, not red. Ignore what I'm saying. I'll figure it out. Okay. Black. Too much. Black is what we need on our paintbrush. And we get the extra water off there. We're going to connect, we're going to outline everything. Okay. I super love painting on skin. I've said this so many times. I super love painting on skin because you can use like one brush load to outline everything. Paper it drags and you gotta load it up a couple of times. So see that little earmuff, how I cut it straight down? So when you're coming around, you just cut it straight down through that. And then you got your earmuff, right? I say earmuff because I grew up with the cold Canadian winters and we wore earmuffs. What did you wear in winter? Okay, so here we go. There, see, it kind of squares out his jaw more. See, outline everything, super easy. And then the only thing you have to remember is to do his mouth, and that connects from one sideburn to another. And that's a legit Iron Man. So, what else does Iron Man have? He's got the superpower of his hand, right? And like he blasts out stuff. So that's where this O Canada kit is going to come in. I got the little peace sign because it's like a patriotic stencil for Canada. It's a little beaver and stuff like that. But I just threw up some peace hands on there because I needed some extra room or some extra stuff for the stencil. So we're going to do the blast hand because he like blasts them with his power like this, right? So when you paint the blast hand, if you can't remember which way to angle it, like which way, because one way is going to look good and the other way is going to look a little bit weird. So just hold your hand out and see that your thumb is towards the inside of your body. So the thumb side is going to be like closer to his head, okay? So what to do is decide which side you want to put it on first, and then rotate your stencil so that the thumb is on the inside of his body. Now, obviously this is a piece and it's not an open hand, so we're going to first scrub out the shape and get the general shape, okay? And we're going to get the 2 fingers, or all 4 fingers here, and the bottom of the hand, and then around. We're not going to worry so much about like the thumb in the middle, okay? Because what we're going to do is, again, hold your hand out like this and see that your thumbnail is pointing downwards, okay? So that the fleshy bit of your thumb is upwards. So then you're going to rotate your stencil so that the fleshy bit of the thumb is upwards, and you're going to catch the thumb, just this thumb bit. Pinch your sponge really small and just get in there and catch the thumb bit. If you catch extra stuff, don't worry about it, because this painting is going to be so busy and no one will notice, okay? To get these other 2 fingers longer, just take the stencil and line up the finger and just paint on, just extend it, extend this finger so it's longer, and then you can extend the one next to it a little bit longer, the pinky, right? So now you got an open hand. Okay, you're gonna have to load up some red on a paintbrush and kind of do like last finishing detail. Right now it looks kind of whack, but you're gonna close up the palm. Okay, you can make these ones a little bit not so dramatic like that, and you can make this even a little bit longer if you want. Basically what you're doing is you're using that stencil to help you make a general hand shape. Because if I was to sit here, I mean, I'm a pretty good artist, I'm a pretty good painter, but if I seriously had to sit here and think about how to paint a hand and make it look not super sketchy, it would take me longer than I'd want to spend on a face paint, okay, or a cheek art or whatever. But if I could just stencil it out and use the stencil for the generic shape of it, and then I'm just like grabbing those extra little portions for the fingertips and stuff like that, then I feel like it's pretty golden, okay? I feel like it's golden. I don't know if any of that makes sense. You guys know what I mean though, right? We're just using the stencil to get a hand shape out. Now, we'll fill in the centerpiece of his palm, some white. And there's a little specific pattern on his glove that he's got that'll really make it look like an Iron Man hand. And if you can do this, kids will be so impressed. So will the parents. Okay, so first of all, if you draw these little U's on all of the finger tips, and then again at the base of the finger, okay, these little U's. You can outline the circle of the power beam area. I'm not so familiar with his anatomy of whatever that power beam area is called. Oh, on his thumb too, he needs a little U on the bottom, okay? And then from every one of these, it connects to the circle, and then 2 on the bottom, like so. And then it's just outlining his hand. Oh, I got a little fat there, that's okay. And outline, outline. It's a little wide there too, sorry guys. And outline. Yay! What was that face, Leia? I don't know. Okay, so the next thing we can do is paint some buildings so that it really looks like he's flying through the sky. But you want to have the buildings be kind of low so that it looks like he's above the buildings, okay? One way that you can add to that illusion is by painting some clouds. so you could put some clouds around. It's another reason why I put a blue background on there so that the clouds would actually show up. And then if they're not going to show up, you can grab some blue and put blue clouds on the white. Yay. Okay, so put some clouds around so it looks like he's really up high in the sky, and then paint some buildings. I'm going to show you guys like a super cheater way to paint some buildings really fast. I'm going to take my little, I got a black finger dauber here, and I put gray on one half and black on the other half, okay? And I'm just going to use the side of my stencil, and I'm going to paint some lines like this and build some buildings. Skyscrapers, really. Right? And what do you guys think of that trick for building buildings? That one got too close to his face, but that's okay. On this same stencil, there's some little halftone dots. So I kind of like to expand them out like that. There's another stencil that I've got that this is really cool because it makes it look like they're going from bigger to smaller too, you know? So kind of looks cool. I think I like the halftone dots effect of it fading away. So there you go. What else can we do? You can put like a laser coming out of his hand. So let's see. I'll grab a bright color. And that same trick that I just showed you by using a stencil, you can use it to like blast the laser out of his hand. Oh, I'm in front of the paper, sorry. Right? Yay. And then you could draw another hand up here and stuff like that and do, but let's see, I can show you guys again just because maybe that went by really fast. So the other hand would be facing the other way, thumb side towards the body, right? So here, this kid gets lucky because he gets Iron Man with two hands. Most kids, you know, I only have time to paint one hand, so sorry, one hand per kid. Birthday kid gets two hands. And all that kind of stuff. That's funny about face painters would only know how annoying it can actually get. There, and then the pinky finger. Let's see, pinky finger we'll use. And then the thumb. Remember, fleshy side up. So we're gonna rotate this puppy so that the fleshy side is pointing up. Whoop, what did I do there? I flipped it upside down. Fleshy side up. Or the pad of the thumb. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But do you see how, like, remember I was like, oh, don't worry if you get it overlapping. It's true, right? Like, it gets so busy that nobody cares at a certain point if it's, if you overswipe on your painting, like, it just doesn't matter. I don't know. I just don't worry about it. People get pretty worked up about having perfect stuff all the time. It's not always, doesn't always have to be about perfect. A lot of times it's just about the vibe, you know, like what's the story that you're telling behind the artwork, you know? Oh, dude, this is messed up. His pinky is way longer than the guy next door. That's not right. Okay. See how that's kind of easy to do? Just practice it a few times and then you'll get it. And it won't be that big of a deal to do. I guess you could add like highlight or something like that on the one side to break it up a bit. I like adding highlights just to break stuff up and make it stand out more, you know. stuff just stands out better if you do that. We'll highlight this one. Okay. And then that little trick for making it look like a real Iron Man hand. Because he's a robot, right? So these are all like kind of weird little robot joints, I guess. Outline this power circle. Outline the hand. Anyways, once again, you practice and know what stencils to grab and use. It really doesn't take that long to do this kind of stuff, and you'll really impress the crowd that you're painting for, the parents. You'll get calls backs for sure. What else? Yeah, once you start doing this a few times too, there's like little subtleties that you'll get used to painting as well. Like there's a little bit of a bend in that part of the palm, you know, just stuff like that that kind of helps make it look more real. But those bright little yellow lines coming off there, yo, I'm really digging that. Let's put some of those on this other hand, and that'll like say like he's going all action like this way now. I make the funniest faces. Okay, so what else? Maybe which one here? I love it. There's kind of a blank space there for this design. I don't know. I'll paint some birds because he's in the sky. All right, so there's Iron Man. Emoji kit. How many stencils did I use? I used the circle from the emojis. I used the peace hands and some of these dots from the O Canada set. And then I used these smiles to make his helmet, right? Start with the jaw dropping, oh my God, wicked, widow's peak. And then do the I love Iron Man because he gave Spider-Man an awesome suit. Heart eyes, earmuffs, smile, connecting his helmet with this evil grin, and then because he's kind of like, I don't know, Mr. Know-It-All, right? And then this little poo eater chin grin, and that's his chin. So I think this looks super legit, and I can't wait to see you guys practice this one out and paint out some ideas of some different backgrounds. I mean, this little cityscape, you saw how easy that was. I just used the side of my stencil, and the same thing with the lasers, the side of the stencil. So there you go, guys. More cool artwork ideas. OMG, it looks like these guys ate a bunch of cherry pie, doesn't it? Anyways, since I kind of stalled out on the face there when I was recording the video at the beginning, I thought I should just quickly focus and repaint his head a couple more times for you guys really fast so that you could see how it's done. How it's done, how practice is done. Okay, this is how I practice. I paint out like a whole bunch of heads so I can just do it over and over and over again, right? Pretty standard, because we know we're gonna use that shape of head, right? So I think with a tip too in doing these types of designs where you're using really small parts is to really make sure that your sponge is not very wet, okay? So here we go. Watch. We're gonna start with this bit. That was a little wet, so usually I just kind of rub on the inside. It's not the crispest line, but that doesn't matter because we're going to outline this kind of stencil anyways, or this type of design anyways, right? So the dropped open mouth, then we love him. So the earmuff head with the sideburns. One, rotate, and two. And then we're gonna go with, We'll put his chin piece. And then the head connector. These made up words I came up with. The head connectors connected to the ear muff. Ear muffs connected to the sideburn. This one got a little sloppy. I got everywhere with my paint. My paint is actually, I think my paint's a little wet, so it's kind of a little sloppy. Try it again. Ready? Jaw dropping. Hairline. We love him. Ear muff. Is this ridiculous, or are you guys actually going to remember this to paint it? Heart eyes, ear muff. Anyways, this is what I do, is I sit here and practice them a million times. So when I'm actually out on the job, I don't even have to think. I just, okay, Iron Man, cheek art. Here we go. Right? This way. I'm just doing like the same bit over and over. Right? Perfect. Load up some white. This little pointy bit going upwards. Right? Wipe it off, rotate it. Right? Right? We'll do this one. Right? Rotate it. Super easy. Easy peasy. Practice outlining. So I like to start with his eyes all the time. I don't know why. Cut that ear muff off, right? This side didn't get as much. Practice. Practice. What do you guys think? Oh, he needs a mouth. Right? Iron Man. Fill in his little ear. That's what I was telling you about, the whole fixing your stuff with the black outline, right? Anyways, there you go. Thought I would just do that again as an afterthought. Right? Yay! I'm super looking forward to seeing you guys start painting some of these. I really am. And if you have requests, you know, see if you can ask me. I don't watch so many movies. I just know that these, I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy, no, it was like Infinity Wars, and it had all kinds of these guys in there. And I was like, you know, I love these guys. So thought I'd paint some out for you guys, and can't wait. Looking forward to it. Gonna end this video because I got nothing else to say. Hashtag GraffitiEyes. Check out the Instagram. Check out the Facebook group. All over the world, there's stores selling these stencils, face paint supply stores. So just ask for them and post it up. Tag me so I can see. And yeah, keep on, just keep on doing a great job, you guys. I love you.